Obituaries, a presentation of Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361. Your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home for burials and cremations is Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Funeral service for Mr. Jeremy Lee Ward, age 36 of Sylacauga, is today at 2 p.m. from Curtis & Son North, with the Reverend Mitch Connell and the Reverend Mike Frost officiating. Burial in the Harpersville Cemetery. Mr. Ward died October 10th at St. Vincent's East Hospital. Online condolences at curtissonsonfh.com. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, Sylacauga, directing. Mrs. Oris Stevens Alexander, age 100 of Childersburg, died at her residence on Thursday. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, announcing. Mr. Robert Wayne Willis, age 80 of Sylacauga, died at his residence on Thursday. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, announcing. Funeral service for Charles Oliver White, age 84 of Childersburg, is today at noon from Radley Smith Funeral Home Chapel, with Brother Kerry Brown officiating. Burial in the Talladega Springs Cemetery. Mr. White died October the 11th at his residence. And visitation today, 11 until noon at the funeral home. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Mr. White served as a firefighter in Sylacauga for some 22 years. Eugene Smelly died Sunday, October the 9th. There will be a memorial service held at noon Sunday, October 16th at Lake Howard, here in Sylacauga. Funeral service for Billy Joe Oden, age 69, is at 11 o'clock Saturday, October 15th at Terry's Mortuary Chapel, with the Reverend Van T. Welch officiating. Interment in the Lane Chapel Cemetery. Online condolences at terrysmortuary.com. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary, directing. Funeral service for Kelly R. Martin, age 84 of Talladega, is 10 o'clock Saturday at Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega, with the Reverend Jeff Rutledge officiating. The family receiving friends tonight, 5 until 7 at the funeral home. Mr. Martin died October 12th at Talladega Healthcare. He was a lifelong resident of Talladega and retired from Georgia Pacific. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Ursery Funeral Home, Talladega, directing. Funeral service for Ruth Johnson, age 86, will be 2 o'clock Saturday at Terry's Mortuary Chapel. Reverend Marshall White officiating. Interment in the Lawler Cemetery. Online condolences at terrysmortuary.com. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary, directing. Celebration of life is planned for Mary Ann Sanderson Creason, age 73. That'll be Saturday at 11 a.m. from the Spring Street Rec Center, Banquet Room 502 Spring Street in Talladega. It will be a time of sharing for family and friends. Ms. Creason died September the 26th. That's a look at obituaries this morning, brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361. Your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home for burials and cremations is Curtis & Son Funeral Home,